Okay, today I'm going to use sodium silicate to create a vase with crackle texture. Again, when I'm centering, I usually push it down instead of squeeze it up with my right arm raising on my splash pan and push the clay onto the right hand. And I use a lot of my right fingertips. So the pressure point is that I usually curve my fingers, so it's not using this part to push it. Using the right fingertip is very efficient to move the clay. It's easy to move the clay when you're curving the fingers. So you can see that when I'm centering, it looks like it's very effortless because I'm using my fingertip to create more pressure to the clay. So it saved me a lot of energy by pushing a large amount of clay. So for drilling, I'm using my left fingertips to drill, and as always, that my right hand is always stay here to support it and to help compressing the wall while I'm drilling it down. Right, this is one way that drill, and then with my thumb holding on the back of my right hand. That's one way of drilling. Or I can use both my hand, hold it on with my thumb outside, hold it on the wall, and then using my both fingertip to squeeze it and drill it down. The key is that when you are drilling the wall, you have to compress it so that you don't lose your center. Okay, that's the most important part, because when I find out a lot of people, when they have a very good center, but they end up with losing the center after they drill the hole. So that's the key, that you want to compress the wall. It's easier that if you make the clay a little bit wider, your fingertip can go underneath and then compress because the base is wider. Even if you are making something like a bottle, you don't need to have the base so wide. You can always bring the base in later, but when you open it, you could open the hole a little bit wider, so the finger can go down there and compress it. Okay, so that's the opening. And after that, I told you that if you want to make it narrow, now is the time you can color the clay back in, so the base will be smaller. clay is a little bit thick. I'm pouring from the inside with my right hand is holding outside and my fingertip on the inside is doing the lifting, so that the clay will be thinner here down the bottom. And then I can come back there and thin the top portion up, thin it down, making it a little bit thinner on the top. If you keep the top too thick, once you pour it up higher, it's easy to get wobble. So you don't want the top to become too thick. So you could just focus the top on the thinner, make it thinner. Even color to make the cylinder a little bit narrower. Right, so this is my first initial lifting. So you see that the itchy ring is my finger marking on the surface, and you see the distance is very close. Okay. So you have one for rotation, you move up, one for rotation, you move up. No rush, take your time. And spend quite some time on lubricate, make the surface slippery before each move. So to prevent the clay getting too much on the bottom corner, I use my finger, right fingertip to bring the clay inside. Okay, so my inside finger is starting from this because there's a thickness on the bottom, so start to push it out, and then my thumb, my right thumb is okay. A lot of people are trying to figure out what kind of hand position I do. Okay, so this is my thumb. Actually, it's the thumb point pressure. You don't want to use like the thumb like this. You have to get your thumb close. Okay, so no gap here, no gap. Okay, close, and then just use the tip, and then bring the clay up straight. That's the outside hand. The inside hand is like that. So the inside hand is a little bit higher, the outside hand a little bit low, the thumb a little bit low, and then bring the clay up. So you will see what the position. I don't want my top to be too thick, so I'm coming back to just thin it down on the top portion. Okay, one last pour, and then I will stop because I still want to have a bit of a thickness, so that when I brush the sodium silicate and stretch it, I will see the crackle texture. Okay, slippery. And using a wooden rib to remove my throat mark, and slightly open up, making a little curve, small curve. So I'm cutting down the clay in the corner. Just clean up. Because when I'm brushing the sodium silicate, I don't want the sodium silicate drip on the clay, so that I could preserve the clay. So that's the bottom. In the meantime, I'm going to keep my opening smaller, so just keeping the opening wide enough for my arm to reach inside. And I could use a metal rib to smooth the surface further. remove the fur mark on both the surface. And then I'm going to put some texture. So there's teeth from this scorpion rib, two different. This side has a smaller teeth. Yeah, this is the free sample from Peter Parker. Okay, you can find anything with the teeth. And put the mark on the surface. You want to do horizontal. You don't want to do this vertical, because when you do the vertical, you brush the sodium silicate and you try to expand it. You will have a big split up, and it's hard to hold the shape. So you might the crackle lines might become bigger and eventually collapse. So I find out it's better to put the horizontal line instead of a vertical line. Now the sodium silicate. I don't want to brush all the way, so I will leave about an inch and a half to maybe 2 inches without brushing the sodium silicate, because I still want to work on the shoulder or maybe the lips, the opening. So if I have the sodium silicate, that part is going to become too hard. So it is brushed evenly on the surface, and you can see the shiny surface. And then I'm going to use the torch. Okay, use the torch to dry, so that until the shiny goes away. Okay, I'm using heat gun, not torch. Okay, heat gun. Torch is even more powerful than the heat gun, but people tend, when they using the torch, they tend to over dry it because it's very powerful. So you need to pay attention if you are using torch to dry it. Heat gun or hair dryer. You can use a hair dryer too. You just don't want to over dry it. Right, so now it's ready to stretch it. And again, after you brush, it's like my previous demonstration that you use the roller, you won't be able to touch the outside. So basically, it's the inside hand doing the job to stretch it out. Just taking my time to stretch it slowly. Gradually, after I stretch it out wider and wider, you will see more of the crackle lines appear. So before I stretch it further, I want to close the top, make it smaller. So now my wheel is quiet now. It's kind of a boring seeing me stretching it, isn't it? But for the shaping and stretching, I want to really take my time. The stretching is finished. I want to still be able to close it, but since I'm stretching it, the walls become fairly thin. So if you're worried about this part here, is when you try to close it, there's a lot of pork on top that might collapse. You can use a heat gun or torch to dry it a little bit, so it will be stronger when you're ready to close the top. And that is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to do the final shaping, since I'm using torch to dry the wall a little bit. I could stretch it out a little bit further. Okay, so put a little bit of water here. Sodium silicate base is done, and just trim the bottom. So that the foot is even smaller. Okay, so I take my time to stretch it out to form the shape and finish at the top. the patience is the key. No rush doing things. That when you make something, do it little by little, and if you do that, you're gonna end up with a nice piece. Okay, so thanks for watching.